video time. So I'm doing a job. The job is on a Peugeot Expert. Now, I had a quick look and couldn't see anybody touch the subject. Now, this one particularly is a 2015. It's an automatic gearbox, as you can see there, but that's actually not what this video is about, really. It's about the engine. This engine was used in Citroen. It's a PSA Peugeot Citroen French engine. They use it in Ford Mondeos and such like, Mark 4s, Mark 5 Mondeos. It's all, I mean, they changed the engine design slightly over the years, and the code's obviously changed, but the engine is the same in all of those models. And what I wanted to talk about is this. Now, there was a guy on YouTube, Alan Hewitt. He touched on it briefly with one of his taxis. But, as you can see, we've got the engine apart. Now, what we've got off the bottom engine is this part. Primarily, this is what we came in after for these seals. So we've got new ones of these because they've started leaking. So as you can see, they seal into that, and it's actually the main bearing cap, rear main bearing cap. Yeah, there. So the cap actually holds the bearing and the rear oil seal, as you can see. But they commonly start leaking from either this part here where they join, or from the actual seal itself where it runs down the side. It is kind of a known oil leak, but I've not seen anybody do a video about specifically this. Now, obviously, to do this oil leak, you have to take subframe gearbox out, then you have to support the engine. I've got some pin soaking. Just cleaned all that out, took all the old sealer off. And now, that's the lower part of the sump. It's like a little extender that the oil return goes into. So you have to take all this off to access this oil leak. But, I mean, when I came in here, the whole back of the engine was completely soaked. Now, obviously, if you've got a manual, you'd probably try and avoid doing this until such time as it needs a clutch in it, because subframe's got to come off, gearbox has got to come out in order to do that. So you'd sort of kill two birds with one stone. It would save the customer money on labour, etc, etc. Obviously, that's not quite how this one works because it's auto. Nothing wrong with a box, so it is just a pull it out to fix the problem. Now, I just thought I'd show you. You don't have to take the oil pump off. You do have to release the air conditioning pump, but that is only because there is one bolt behind it that goes into the, holds that bracket there into the lower sump pan section. So you can get away with that. On the Mondeos, you actually have to take that bracket off because there's a dowel that goes into it. So they kind of changed it in this Peugeot, where there's not a dowel on this piece of metal, so you don't have to take the whole bracket off the side of the engine, which is nice. Sure, they didn't change the design this end. But yeah, so that's a common oil leak on them, is it leaks from there. Most people think it's a rear main seal. They get in there and then they'll notice that it's probably not the actual seal itself leaking. It will be coming from here, down here, further down here, weeping out here or here, and it's actually the where the rubber shrunk up on here. Like I say, you can see, I mean, that's not horrific, it is still semi-malleable, but they're not great. So we'll get those two replaced. Got a new rear main seal for it as well, and get the oil leak stopped and get it put back together. But I've come across a couple of these with that, so it's worth watching out for if you're looking at buying one of these. If the bottom of the vehicle's soaked in oil, it could be possible that somebody's trying to get rid of it because of the labour cost of replacing that. These seals from dealer are about £2.50 each. The labour to fit them will depend on, vary from garage to garage, but yeah, probably 2 days labour pulling that out, and pulling it all apart, cleaning everything, putting it back together. So yeah, there you go. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, and we'll be back with you for some more.